Listen closely. Silence carries a command today. God said, just relax. Not tomorrow, not someday. On January 1st, 2026, this message arrives with precision, not poetry, not coincidence. I am Shiheng Yi, and this teaching flows from ancient discipline, spiritual law, and the quiet truths many never notice. A new year opens, yet this moment speaks deeper than calendars and goals. Relaxation here means alignment, not escape. Stillness becomes strength. Calm becomes power. In this video, clarity unfolds around why tension blocks progress, why forcing life creates resistance, and why divine timing responds only to a settled mind. Many chase outcomes through pressure, yet Shaolin wisdom reveals a lesser-known truth. Surrender sharpens direction, patience accelerates results, and inner quiet attracts outcomes effort never reaches. January 1st, 2026 marks a threshold where frantic movement loses authority and grounded presence gains command. Stay until the end, because the final insight connects spiritual law with daily action, revealing how trust reshapes destiny without struggle. This teaching matters now, because chaos grows louder, yet guidance speaks softly. Those trained to listen rise above confusion. Those anchored in calm move ahead, while others rush in circles. This path requires courage, discipline, and faith expressed through composure. Welcome to Shaolin Divine Flow, a space dedicated to mastery of mind, breath, and spirit. Join this journey by subscribing and walk forward with calm certainty as everything aligns in its proper time. Pause. Something shifts here. January 1st, 2026 is not a number on a calendar. It is a doorway quietly opening. One step forward, and the weight of the past loosens its grip. Regret fades. Old noise dissolves. A new alignment begins, not through force, but through awareness. This moment carries a different frequency. Those who feel it understand that endings and beginnings meet in stillness, not in struggle. God does not compete with chaos. He does not raise his voice over fear, pressure, or rushing minds. Divine guidance arrives softly, entering only where space exists. Calm becomes the invitation. Stillness becomes the language. When the inner world settles, clarity appears without effort. This is why so many miss guidance while searching loudly. Truth waits patiently for silence. January 1st, 2026 carries the energy of reset. Not because time changes, but because perception can. A relaxed mind sees pathways that tension hides. A calm heart receives direction that anxiety blocks. This is not passivity, this is precision. The Shaolin way teaches that power without control destroys itself, while power guided by calm becomes unstoppable. The first instruction remains simple because truth rarely complicates itself. Relax. Release the grip. Loosen the breath. Drop the armor built from fear. Alignment begins the moment resistance ends. When pressure dissolves, movement becomes natural. When trust replaces tension, effort transforms into flow. This doorway does not demand action. It invites presence. Standing here calmly changes how every step forward unfolds. The past no longer pulls. The future no longer intimidates. Awareness sharpens. Direction stabilizes. In this quiet opening, guidance does not rush you. It meets you exactly where stillness allows it to arrive. Slow down. Notice the pattern. Each new year begins with tension wrapped in ambition. Minds race ahead. Hands grip tighter. Lists grow longer. People push forward before understanding where they are going. Pressure disguises itself as motivation. Yet beneath that urgency lives fear of falling behind. This is why the message matters on January 1st, 2026. Not because effort is wrong, but because direction without calm creates exhaustion, not progress. God offers a different order. Before movement, stillness. Before decision, clarity. Before pursuit, alignment. These pauses are not delays. They are corrections. A rushed step taken in the wrong direction costs more than a patient pause taken in truth. Peace prepares the ground so action can land firmly. Without it, even strong effort collapses inward. Many believe intensity creates results. Shaolin wisdom teaches the opposite. Precision creates results. Precision comes only when the mind is settled. A calm mind sees clearly. A clear mind chooses wisely. This is why God interrupts the cycle of forcing with a simple command: relax. Not to stop life, but to stop unnecessary resistance. Peace is not the reward at the end of the journey. Peace is the foundation at the beginning. When peace leads, progress follows naturally. Decisions sharpen. Energy conserves itself. Movement gains purpose. The body aligns with intention. The spirit aligns with direction. January 1st, 2026 stands as a reminder that frantic motion does not impress the divine. Alignment does. Calm listening does. Trust expressed through patience opens paths invisible to pressure. The moment you release the need to control outcomes, guidance steps forward, not loudly, not urgently, quietly, waiting for awareness to slow enough to notice where true progress wants to begin. Breathe into this truth. Relaxation carries a strength that force never reaches. Many confuse calm with surrendering effort, yet relaxation signals trust, not retreat. It is the quiet statement that preparation has occurred, discipline has been practiced, and now space is created for guidance to act. Tension insists on control. Trust releases it. This release does not weaken direction, it refines it. When the grip loosens, awareness sharpens. The mind stops arguing with reality. Energy returns to the present moment. In this state, action becomes efficient rather than exhausting. Faith lives here, not as hope mixed with worry, but as calm confidence rooted in understanding. Faith does not rush outcomes. It stands steady, knowing timing responds to alignment. A restless heart blocks clarity. A still heart receives instruction. This is why God moves fastest when the inner world settles. Movement accelerates when resistance dissolves. Decisions land with certainty. Paths reveal themselves naturally. Nothing is chased, yet nothing is missed. Trust speaks without words. It shows itself through patience under uncertainty and composure under pressure. This composure is not passive. It is alert, disciplined, and grounded. Shaolin training emphasizes this state because power guided by calm becomes precise. Power driven by tension fractures itself. Allowing does not remove responsibility. It refines it. Effort becomes intentional. Rest becomes strategic. Silence becomes informative. In stillness, subtle signals emerge. Intuition sharpens. Direction clarifies. Relaxation creates the space where guidance enters. In that space, fear loses authority. The need to prove dissolves. Control softens into cooperation. This is how trust transforms movement, not through force, but through alignment that carries momentum without strain. Feel the resistance when force takes control. Pushing against life creates friction, and friction clouds judgment. Force interrupts natural timing. It bends direction away from harmony. When panic enters, awareness narrows. Choices shrink. Doors that were open quietly close because clarity cannot survive urgency. This is how interference begins. Blessings move with ease. They travel along paths of least resistance. Pressure blocks these paths. Anxiety distorts perception, making obstacles appear larger than they are. Alignment restores proportion. Calm returns vision. When resistance ends, movement becomes fluid again. God does not respond to fear-driven action. Anxiety sends mixed signals. One moment trust, the next moment doubt. This instability disrupts flow. Alignment speaks with consistency. It signals readiness. It signals trust. This is the language guidance responds to. Relaxation removes interference. It clears static from intention. It opens channels that effort alone cannot access. In calm, signals sharpen. Timing aligns. Support appears without demand. This cooperation allows events to unfold with precision rather than struggle. Many confuse pressure with commitment. True commitment remains steady without strain. It listens before acting. It adapts without panic. Shaolin discipline trains this balance because strength without calm collapses inward. Calm strength, however, carries endurance. When force withdraws, space opens. In that space, direction adjusts naturally. Movement regains rhythm. Effort becomes purposeful. Anxiety dissolves into awareness. Resistance fades into acceptance. This cooperation transforms struggle into flow, allowing what is meant to arrive without obstruction or distortion. Notice the tension behind urgency. Impatience grows from fear, not from purpose. The rush to arrive quickly often ignores what waits along the path. Human urgency measures time by desire. Divine timing measures readiness. One pushes forward blindly, the other pauses to prevent harm. What appears as delay often shields you from lessons not yet learned or strength not yet built. God's pauses are not empty, they are active. In still moments, character matures, perception sharpens, weak foundations strengthen quietly. When movement resumes, it carries stability rather than collapse. Impatience demands immediate results. Divine timing prepares lasting outcomes. On January 1st, 2026, this contrast becomes clear. The new cycle invites trust over speed. Waiting becomes part of progress, not an obstacle to it. Each pause aligns inner readiness with outer opportunity. When these two meet, movement becomes effortless. Fear interprets waiting as loss. Wisdom recognizes waiting as refinement. Pressure blinds vision. Patience widens it. In patience, signals emerge that rushing would miss. Direction clarifies. Detours reveal purpose. God's timing avoids chaos. It arranges moments with precision. Arrivals occur when the heart is capable of sustaining what comes. Early arrival would overwhelm. Late arrival would discourage. Perfect timing arrives quietly, exactly when strength matches opportunity. Trusting this timing dissolves anxiety. The need to control fades. Energy returns to presence. In this state, alignment replaces urgency. Calm replaces resistance. Movement resumes with confidence rather than fear, guided by readiness rather than impulse. Release the chase and notice the shift. Constant pursuit scatters attention. Energy leaks outward. The mind stays ahead of the body and presence disappears. When the chase ends, awareness returns. Vision clears. What once felt confusing begins to arrange itself naturally. Calm restores order. Running creates noise. Noise hides direction. Stillness removes that noise. In quiet attention, subtle signals emerge. Choices simplify. Paths reveal themselves without struggle. Direction was always present, but movement without awareness blurred it. What is meant for you responds to alignment, not desperation. Chasing sends a message of lack. Calm sends a message of readiness. The difference is felt immediately. Opportunities drawn by clarity arrive cleanly, without resistance. Shaolin wisdom teaches that mastery attracts challenge and opportunity naturally. Nothing is forced. Nothing is hunted. Presence becomes magnetic. When calm anchors the mind, actions become precise. Effort lands where it matters. Stopping the chase does not remove ambition. It refines it. Focus replaces urgency. Quality replaces quantity. Each step gains purpose. Each pause restores strength. Calm awareness allows recognition. When opportunity arrives, it feels familiar, not surprising. It aligns with preparation already completed. No scrambling, no panic, just readiness meeting arrival. In this state, movement flows naturally. Energy conserves itself. Confidence stabilizes. Direction holds steady. Without chasing, life meets you where alignment allows. Surrender carries strength few recognize. It is not defeat, nor is it passivity. True surrender hands control to wisdom greater than the self. The ego resists because it fears loss, yet what is released in trust returns multiplied. When the mind stops insisting on its own way, guidance flows freely. God works best when ego steps aside. Ambition fueled by pride creates friction. Effort driven by fear invites mistakes. But when surrender arrives, clarity enters. The path becomes visible. Timing becomes precise. Actions land with effortless impact. What once required struggle now unfolds naturally. Relaxation is the gateway to the surrender. Calm is not weakness, it is acceptance. Acceptance does not mean giving up on desire or purpose. It means allowing the greater plan to operate through preparation already made. Fear cannot coexist with true surrender. Once tension dissolves, miracles move quietly into alignment. Surrender opens doors invisible to control. Patterns align. Connections emerge. Opportunities appear where none seemed possible. The universe responds not to frantic insistence but to composed readiness. The still mind becomes magnetic. The heart becomes receptive. Shaolin practice teaches that power without surrender fractures. Power guided by surrender becomes precise, unstoppable, and enduring. In stillness, the unseen supports the seen. In trust, effort is multiplied without strain. Each act of surrender reshapes momentum. Each moment of release reinforces presence. As the mind stops dictating outcomes, events begin to dictate themselves in perfect sequence. Miracles are not exceptions. They are natural results of alignment. Surrender transforms fear into confidence, chaos into order, scarcity into abundance. It is the hidden power that moves silently, yet moves everything. When control is released wisely, life moves through you, not against you, and the extraordinary becomes inevitable. January 1st, 2026 arrives quietly, yet with unmistakable power. It is more than a turning of the calendar, it is a reset across every level of being. Emotionally, old burdens soften, regrets lose weight, doubts that clouded judgment begin to lift. Mentally, thoughts organize themselves, confusion clears, priorities sharpen, spiritually, connection deepens, awareness aligns with purpose, and intuition becomes louder than noise. God does not call you to erase the past or abandon lessons learned. He calls you to align with what truly matters. The reset is not about starting over. It is about starting from a place of clarity, readiness, and balance. Every misstep, every struggle, every pause has prepared you for this alignment. Calm mind. The mind that ceases its frantic chatter perceives subtle guidance. Decisions become precise. Energy no longer leaks into fear or doubt. A calm mind recognizes opportunity before it arrives and avoids obstacles that would have seemed unavoidable under tension. Open heart. Openness allows connection with what is meant for you. Closed hearts resist guidance, repel abundance, and misread timing. Openness is not naivety. It is the courage to trust that life responds to presence, not panic. Clear path. Alignment creates clarity. When mind and heart synchronize with purpose, movement becomes natural. Obstacles appear smaller. Opportunities more visible. Steps fall into rhythm with the flow of life rather than against it. January 1st, 2026 is not just another day. It is a threshold where awareness meets readiness, where stillness meets action, where trust meets manifestation. Every breath, every moment of presence draws you closer to the unfolding of what is meant to arrive. Here, alignment replaces struggle, clarity replaces confusion, and the next chapter begins effortlessly, carrying all that was prepared in silence to its natural place. Fear shouts. It demands attention, pulls focus, and clouds perception. It thrives in noise, in rush, in tension. Faith, in contrast, whispers. Its voice is subtle, often drowned out by urgency and distraction. Yet it is always present, waiting for stillness to be heard. The moment anxiety softens, faith steps forward. The quiet reveals what panic conceals. You hear God when worry becomes quiet. Noise blocks insight. Tension distorts messages. When the heart settles and the mind ceases its frantic looping, clarity appears. The answers were never absent. They were hidden behind the volume of doubt. Relaxation acts as the tuner, lowering the static, allowing the divine signal to emerge. Every breath drawn in calmness diminishes fear's authority. Every pause strengthens trust. Anxiety contracts perception, narrowing possibilities. Faith expands it, opening the mind to unseen guidance, subtle signs, and precise timing. When you stop forcing, when you stop reacting to every impulse, insight arrives naturally. Relaxation does not remove challenges, but it transforms how they are perceived. Obstacles become lessons. Decisions become intentional. Energy aligns with purpose rather than scattering in resistance. In this quiet state, guidance is not abstract. It is practical, immediate, and actionable. This is how faith activates, not through sheer willpower, not through struggle, not through proof, but through surrender of noise and tension. The less you cling to outcomes, the more responsive the universe becomes. Patterns, opportunities, and solutions begin to reveal themselves effortlessly. The shift is subtle but profound. When anxiety fades, trust strengthens. When trust strengthens, clarity emerges. When clarity emerges, action aligns naturally. The path becomes visible. The steps fall into rhythm. Fear no longer dictates pace. Faith moves forward softly, steadily, yet with undeniable force, guiding each moment with perfect timing. Listen closely. Everything will come to you is not a promise of ease without action. Effort remains, but struggle transforms. The tension, the desperation, the frantic push, they all fade. What is destined for you does not demand force to arrive. It flows naturally in harmony with preparation, alignment, and patience. Arrival without destruction is the essence of divine timing. Life does not break what it intends to bless. Doors open without battering walls. Opportunities arrive without demanding compromise of your integrity or peace. What belongs to you integrates seamlessly into your life, enhancing rather than exhausting. There is no need to beg, no need to negotiate with fear or manipulate outcomes. The universe, God, works with readiness, not pleading. Calm presence signals preparedness. Anxiety signals resistance. When resistance ends, flow begins. Flow replaces force. Effort guided by alignment moves smoothly, landing with precision. The energy once wasted in panic now amplifies productivity. Steps taken in rhythm with timing avoid collisions, confusion, and loss. Flow respects the natural order and multiplies results silently yet powerfully. Struggle disappears because it is no longer necessary. Patience carries its own power. Surrender enhances effectiveness. Trust amplifies impact. Every obstacle that once seemed insurmountable becomes manageable when met with calm, not chaos. This principle changes the way action is perceived. You still move, you still work, you still grow, but you do so with a steadiness that invites support rather than repels it. The right opportunities, the right people, the right circumstances align effortlessly with preparation, readiness, and calm. The ultimate truth is simple: when alignment meets action, force becomes obsolete. Life delivers what is meant for you without breaking, without rushing, and without struggle. Everything flows to you, naturally, perfectly, and powerfully. On January 1st, 2026, God's message is clear and gentle: relax. Not because life stands still, but because everything you need is already moving toward you. Trust the timing, release the tension, and remain aligned with your purpose. In calmness, clarity appears. In stillness, guidance arrives. Carry this truth into the new year. Let it shape your actions, your thoughts, and your heart. When you stop forcing and start allowing, life begins to move with effortless flow. Every step you take from this place of trust becomes powerful and precise. If this message spoke to your heart, like this video and subscribe to Shaolin Divine Flow for more wisdom that strengthens the mind, body, and spirit. Share this knowledge and let it ripple outward into your life and the lives of others. Remember this: when you relax, God works. When you release, the universe aligns. When you trust, miracles unfold naturally. Step into 2026 with calm courage and watch as life moves perfectly into place, exactly as it should.